A lot of the stuff that's going on boil down to anti-black racism. You know what I'm saying? These people that same people that want us to get out there and help them right now is the same people that, was targeting us in their neighborhoods when, that like the Mexicans ran black folks up out of Los Angeles, man. There's a lot of black people moved because of the tension between black and brown, but
Mm.
the media try to spin it to make it seem like it's a coalition between black and brown. And if you ever lived in the West Coast, just from the prison system, that's not real. The brown stick with the Aryan Brotherhood, so they really fucking with the white folks. You know what I'm saying? They're not really dealing with brothers like that. They click up with the white folks against the blacks. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you hit the streets, their neighborhoods is their neighborhoods. They don't like you talking to they women. I mean, I ain't saying that they all like that, but that's part of their culture, man.
Right.
Their culture is to lighten the race. That's what La Raza is, to
Mm.
lighten the race up and get more white than dark,
Mm.
you
So
know.
that's what that means.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's embedded in all cultures.
Yeah.
The darker you are, the worse you are.
Well, anything we touch turn
Yeah,
Afro American, as they say it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's like they got a problem with us, and we're the ones that done went up the back for everybody that's over here, other than the white folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. If it wasn't for us doing what we did, then you wouldn't even have no Africans over here. You wouldn't have no Jamaicans over here. You wouldn't have no Asians over here. You wouldn't have these Mexicans over here. You know what I'm saying? We fought civil rights and opened the door for everybody to get all these rights, but we really don't have no rights ourselves,
Right.
and we've been fighting for 50 years. So,
50 years.
ever since they signed that in the law, and everybody done got reparations, and different people done got, laws and bills passed for them.
And we made it easier for them.
Yeah, and we still don't have a law
We
for
still
ourselves,
don't get on. You're right.
you know.
So, and then they was trying to say it was they weren't being aggressive or violent out there, but that's not true.
Nah, man. If it First of all, it like I said, I don't even understand how you can protest something that you're wrong about. When we were out here stumping, the reason why so many people understood why we were doing what we were doing is because we were in the right. You can't be fighting the government and you in the wrong. It don't matter if that's your community or not. If you don't like this country and you flying your foreign flags and burning our flag, and illegal is illegal. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to take the legal right, that's the reason why we have law enforcement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have to follow it by the teeth, and why shouldn't nobody else have to follow it like that?
Mm.
And if they got to get a little rough and a little violent right back with it. I know you seen some of the clips with the, protesters throwing rocks, bottles, and torching stuff, and just different stuff like that. They doing things that you could you could really say it's an act of war because these are not citizens.
Mm.
If a foreign agent is going up against this government, is that not like, you know, a military movement? You know what I'm saying? You don't know who has paper. If you got,
And they on American soil.
yeah, they're on American soil. You got 1,000. Just say you got 1,000 Latinos standing right there yelling at you. How do you expect ICE or anybody else to know who has, you know,
Green cards,
yeah,
anything.
green card citizenship, or whatever yeah, everybody need to get rounded up and then get sorted out.
so, so that's how they got to do it. So when they pick up the wrong ones, they just really running the check on them,
Yeah, they
like
running
they
the check.
always do us when they pull us over.
Yeah,
Run a check on the whole car and everything. I
yeah.
get what you're saying.
And then on top of that, the thing about it is if they got their papers together, if they got their ID, if they if they're American citizen or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be that bad, but you're committing felonies. You fighting against the police, even us as citizens. If we fight against the police, that's basically assault on an officer. That's a
Right.
felony.
That's a crime.
So, even if you was innocent by going out there marching, now you done committed a felony. So you gotta get rounded up anyway.
So you saying they why you saying it's like an act of warriors because they ain't even citizens
Right.
on American soil and attacking the army or the
Yeah.
police. He said that he said that's a act of war.
That's an act of war and flying their
The
country's
the
flag.
flag, yeah.
Yeah.